This is a review of a 1/16 size Fiddler Apprentice violin that I bought from Fiddler Shop. I'm going to be comparing it against a 1/32 size N Paganini violin, 2016, from Charles Liu, and a Nagoya Suzuki violin from, this is an older violin that I started on, made in 1976, also 1/16 size. The Paganini and the Suzuki violin are actually the same size. They're labeled differently, but so this is technically a 1/32, but it's the same size as the Suzuki 1/16. And the Fiddlerman 1/16 is slightly bigger than the Suzuki 1/16, even though they're labeled the same size. So with these fractional sizes, the sizes actually vary a little bit. So I bought this one because I was looking for a step up for my kid, and I had read that like $500 was kind of the cutoff between the VSOs, or violin shaped objects, and something that actually has a decent sound. I bought it based on the reviews, and I'm just going to do some quick side-by-sides. Do what my daughter's learning right now. That was the Fiddlerman. Here is the Paganini. And then here is the Suzuki. Back to Paganini. Sorry, back to Fiddlerman. I would say that, to my ears, the tone on this one is definitely weaker, definitely thinner, and scratchier. The real disappointment with this one was when I played something on the G string. Compare that to the Paganini. Even though it's a smaller violin, it still has a decent G. That was the Suzuki. Fiddlerman again. And then finally, just for fun, this is kind of a toy violin. It's also a Paganini, labeled 1/64 size, and it's really tiny. Doesn't even have fine tuners because there's not room for them. And I think that G actually sounds fuller than the Fiddlerman. Back to the Fiddlerman for a side-by-side. It's really hard to get a good tone. Here's the best one. And then the other thing that, the low tension small violins do is that they're really like rum when you play the G string. That one isn't so bad. You'll hear it more on the Suzuki and the Fiddlerman. And it does that on all the strings. So I don't know how the Paganini avoids doing that. Let's see what the small one sounds like. Yeah, they don't. So the Paganinis have dominant strings on them. This has helicore, which aren't the best, but they're cheap and they don't go out of tune. And then this has the Fiddlerman strings on it that are supposed to be similar to dominant, but anyway, so a couple more observations. I noticed that the fingerboard on the Fiddlerman and neck are more narrow than even on the smaller violins, which I don't really like. I find it's easier to play this one because there's more room for fingers. But of course I'm not the target audience for this. And then the last note is that I weighed the violins just for the heck of it. The Fiddlerman came in at 206 grams. The Suzuki was 157 grams. And the Paganini was 176. Sorry. Suzuki was 157, Paganini was 176. So the Fiddlerman is a much heavier violin. And I noticed that, I weighed them because I noticed that when I picked it up, that it was just so heavy. Which in this case, I'm just a dad, I'm not a violin expert, but in this case I think that's not a great thing. One final note, it's not really a fair review because the Fiddlerman is about a $500 violin. The Paganini is probably double that. And the Suzuki they don't even make, well, this is a really old violin. I don't know what modern Suzukis are like or what they go for. But on eBay, I've seen used Suzukis for a few $100s. So maybe this is the most comparable to the Fiddlerman. Anyway, I hope you found this helpful, and thanks for watching.